You can now control Ableton Live using Force. Firmware Update 3.04 allows you to do so remotely over Wi-Fi or with an Ethernet connection. In addition, you're able to switch between standalone mode and live control without ever stopping playback. In this technical overview, I'm going to walk you through all of the features and functions that you'll need in order to work with the update, and then I'll get into some creative use cases that'll enhance your productions and performances. With that said, let's get into it. To enter live control mode, first press Menu, and then select Live Control. The touch interface is divided into 3 tabs: Matrix, Mixer, and Device. Matrix allows you to view audio and MIDI clips from your live project. Mixer will give you access to Live's mixer functions like volume, pan, mute, solo, etc. And finally, Device. This will give you control over device parameters from Live. Let's go into more detail about the Matrix tab. Either touch the Matrix icon on the left of the screen or press the Matrix button to jump into this mode. The Matrix will display an 8x8 section of Live's session view. This will be marked in Live by the colored session ring. Similar to when navigating Force's Matrix, you can use the direction arrows to move 1 track at a time, or if you hold Shift, you can move 8 tracks at a time. Clips and scenes will display the same color and track name as they do inside of Live. When a clip is playing, it'll be colored white. When it's preparing to record, it'll flash red. And when it is recording, it'll be colored red. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see some function keys. Use Quantize to quantize the currently selected clip. You can set the quantize value by first pressing the tool icon on the top right of the display, and then pick your desired value in the Quantize To field. Delete will delete the currently selected clip. Insert Scene will insert a scene below the clip selected. And Record will enable you to record clip performances from Live's session view. Let's move on to the Mixer tab. The Mixer provides easy access to Live's key mixing functions. It's split up into 3 pages. Levels will display the volume and give you a full screen slider. Main will give you more options like pan, record enable, track enable, those type of details. And then finally, Sends will allow you to add the sends from Ableton, as well as assign tracks to either the A or B side of the crossfader. Before we move on to device control, let's talk about Force's knobs. This will give you hands-on control over Live's key parameters. The screens above each knob will give you visual feedback about the parameter name and the value being controlled. Knobs 1 through 8 control track volume, and 9 through 16 control the device currently selected. To change between knobs 1 through 8 and 9 through 16, simply press the knobs button. Let's move on to the device tab. Touch the device icon or press clip to enter this mode. This tab will control the device on the current track at the blue hand position inside of Live. The device information bar gives you clear visual feedback about the device you're controlling. For internal instruments, you'll see the name of the current device and the bank name. For third-party plugins, you'll see the name of the current device and the bank number. Use the device plus or minus and bank plus or minus function keys to change the position of the blue hand. You can turn a device on or off using the device on function key. And use the lock icon in the title bar to lock the device so your assignments will persist when changing tracks. Next, let's talk about the control bar. You can customize what's displayed here by changing the settings at the tool icon on the top right. Then go to the control bar field and choose from one of the 3 preset configurations: Session, Arrangement, and Performance. The Session preset contains control over BPM, tempo nudge up and down, metronome, follow, arrangement position, MIDI arrangement overdub, and automation arm. The arrangement preset contains controls for BPM, arrangement position, loop start, loop on or off, and length. The performance preset contains controls for BPM and phase nudge up and down. Force's hardware also comes pre-mapped. Some of the functions we've already covered, but they're very similar to how Force will operate in its standalone mode. Track Select will select different tracks in Live. The launch buttons will launch a scene in Ableton. The master button will select the master track, and if you press it again, it'll go back to the last track selected. Stop all will stop all of the clips. Again, the knobs will either control the master volume or the device that you have selected. It's important to remember that in Live Control that the force pads are fixed to clip launching. You can also use the quick edit buttons. Holding select, you can silently select a pad. Copy will copy the selected clip to the next available slot. Delete will delete the currently selected clip. Tap tempo will change the master tempo. And then the assignable buttons, mute, solo, record on, and clip stop operate the same way that you'd expect in standalone mode. You can also use the crossfade assignment buttons to assign tracks to either the A or the B side of the crossfader, and use the crossfader to blend between them. You can also use Force's undo button to either undo the last action in Ableton or shift undo to redo an action. And there you have it. You can also use the release notes as a text reference if you get stuck on anything.